King of the Ice. Pete's Power Plays with Philly Pete starts now on 12 Ounce Sports.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday, middle of the week already. I can't believe it. October 21st, 2020 episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only King of the Ice himself, Philly Pete, and we are live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we are back, and thank you for tuning into the show as always. I love it, and I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. As always, each and every day, Tuesday through Thursday, same time, same place as always, at 12 o'clock to 12:30 Eastern Time on 12 Ounce Sports. This show, Pete's Power Plays, is sponsored by the one, the only, MyBookie.ag. When signing up for an account with MyBookie, please make sure you use the promo code 12 Ounce Sports. That is 12OZ Sports. All one word, all caps, no spaces. Once you jot that bad boy in, make your deposit, and they will match it up to $1,000. Really, really good opportunity there to start cashing out large. The NFL is back in full swing. The NCAA is back in full swing. We got college basketball right around the corner. We have, obviously, the NHL starting back up, hopefully in middle of January. You have the NBA starting up eventually, too, during the same time. But sports are in full swing. We're ready to rock and roll. Those soccer junkies that are out there, too. You get the Champions League as well. I know there's a bunch of you guys out there and ladies that like to bet on soccer, too. I know that for a fact. My parlay that was at plus 500 did not turn out the way I wanted to. That's why I'm not a soccer capper. I'm a hockey capper. But it was worth a shot. Juventus won, but unfortunately we could not get the over 2.5 for Chelsea. And we could not get Paris Saint-Germain to win on the money line as well. But once again, it was a quick shot. I do like the Champions League. But once again, those that want to get started in terms of winning money, cashing out large on your bookie, the best place to start right now is mybookie.ag. Use the promo code 12 Ounce Sports. Once again, 12OZ Sports, all one word, all caps, no spaces. You'll be good to go. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. Simple as that. Also, Zingo TV, channel 761. Yes, you heard that correctly, 761. Ladies and gentlemen out there that are tuning in to Zingo TV, welcome aboard. Those that do not have Zingo TV, I highly recommend you do. It's on every device out there that you need. Roku TV, Apple TV, Fire Stick, whatever it may be. Zingo TV is the app to tune in when it comes to all 12 Ounce Sports shows, including yours truly, Philly Pete and Pete's Power Play. So those that don't have Zingo TV, make sure you sign up. Download the app on that smart device, whatever it may be. Sign up, use the promo code 12Ounce, 12OZ, and from there you'll be streaming live all of our phenomenal shows that we have, once again, on 12 Ounce Sports. So we're back. I have a huge card today. I also have a phenomenal guest on board that will come in during the second half of my show. The one, the only, the man himself from World Hockey Report, Mr. Cody Jansen as well. He will be stepping in live with Philly Pete and talking free agencies, Stanley Cup odds, what his dark horses are, what his wild cards are, who's his favors, and a couple keys in terms of free agency, who won, who lost in terms of teams, and also a look ahead to Thursday night, tomorrow's game between my beloved Philadelphia Eagles and those team from up north in North Jersey, the New York Football Giants, and we'll talk a little bit of football as well. So today, let's get into it. I know yesterday I didn't talk about one topic, but I want to get into it right now since we can, is the NHL free agency updates. Now, the last time I talked to you guys about this was back on the 16th. So a couple of names just to bring out to you guys. The Toronto Maple Leafs did sign Joe Thornton to a one-year deal for $700,000. Now, Patrick Marleau did go back to the Sharks in hopes that Jumbo Joe would be going back as well. But his key quote, and I quote from Mr. Joe, Jumbo Joe himself, he said that he needs a Stanley Cup. Hey, listen, we all do in our lives, Jumbo. We all do. We all do. And, hey, I can't blame it. I don't know if Toronto was the spot to go, but, time will tell. And I guess that's the place that he wants to be in order to win a cup. And maybe that's the team that eventually wins a cup for Canada, sometime soon. So we'll see what happens. Good signing for Toronto, and we'll see what happens. Philadelphia Flyers also signed Nolan Patrick to a one-year deal, about $875,000. Blue Jackets signed Gabriel Carlson as well, 2-year deal, $1.45 million. Moving on to the 17th of October, the Penguins signed Cody Ceci for a one-year deal, $1.25. Moving out to October 18th, the Avalanche signed Tyson Jost, one-year deal, about $875,000 as well. The Predators signed Rem Pitlick, one-year deal, same thing, $875,000. Moving up real quickly, the Coyotes got Christian Fisher, 2-year deal, $2 million. Sabres signed Stephen Fogarty, 1 year, $700,000. Vancouver Canucks signed Adam Gaudette, 1 year, $950,000. And a notable signing here is that the Golden Knights signed Keegan Kolesar, 2-year, $1.45 million. Moving on to October 20th, yesterday, not much in the action, but you had Boston Bruins sign Carson Coleman, 2-year deal, $1.45 million. And they had the Devils sign Nick Merkley to a 1 year, about $875,000. And then the Leafs signed Ilya Mikheyev, 2-year deal, $3.29 million. So a lot going on still. If your team's on the rocks right now, don't worry about it. I did mention this on the show yesterday. Should you panic? Should you not? Well, two teams that I did say that should panic right now is the Flyers, of course, and the New York Islanders. So those are two teams that are on the panic button. Don't press the red button yet. But again, those are two teams that I think are panicking. The other teams that I mentioned yesterday, including the Stars and Carolina Hurricanes, they're not you shouldn't be panicking yet. But like I said, the Hurricanes still need that goalie. You're in the nitty gritty now. You're in the absolute nitty gritty when it comes to a goaltender. Everyone's basically signed somewhere. Qdobin signed with Dallas as well. But moving on to this, NHL free agents that are left on the market. Now that I'm on topic, bargains, buyer beware, and a lot more than that. So let's start off with the remaining top NHL free agent, buyer beware, Mike Hoffman. Now, during a typical free agent stretch here, some team would have talked themselves into getting Hoffman. He's a 30-year-old player, Florida Panthers. It's not just Hoffman scored 29 goals during the course of the 2019-2020 season. It's that he's an unusually reliable sniper as well. He's a great shooter. We all know that, which is why the Florida Panthers are so successful and they made the postseason. But he was easily on pace to push 30 this past season, and he was riding a 6-season, 20-plus goal streak. This guy is very, very talented. Such numbers place the asking price high, and that's where the problems become, potential crisis. Generally speaking, though, Hoffman does little beyond scoring goals, though, and if you might even deem them, empty calorie goals, I should say. But it's not that you have to weigh Hoffman's offensive contributions versus defense. He is we all know that. This is why it's a buyer beware. He's more of an offensive guy compared to a defensive guy. But you also have to wonder if his overall offense impact is a bit overstated. Considering though how unappealing Hoffman looks by a variety of metrics, I'm just telling you right now, this is a player that wherever he goes to, is going to make an automatic impact. Now, word on the street is that he's going to pull a Taylor Hall and sign somewhere for a year. It's a rental season, I should say, when it comes to these top free agents, including Taylor Hall and soon to be Mike Hoffman. And I don't know where he's going to land. I feel like it's going to be deja vu next summer when we have Taylor Hall back in the action and Mike Hoffman. So I hope that's not the case with him. But, it doesn't mean that he doesn't boost zero value. It makes sense that he is linked to a team like Montreal. Montreal has been killing it in the offseason right now, including getting Tyler Toffoli and getting Johnson from the Columbus Blue Jackets too. So these are just players that make me think, okay, I'm looking ahead to my potential value wild card Stanley Cup future picks that I like. And the Canadians, I'm glad I got them at 50-1. Okay, they're plus 5,000 for me, and they're again, it's a small. And this is what I'm going to talk about Cody with as well, coming up soon. But it's just the fact that you see these odds and you see what they made, and it's only going to be a matter of time until they drop. Okay, Vegas, like I said a couple weeks ago when I started talking about Stanley Cup odds for this upcoming season, is the fact that Vegas signed Pietrangelo. Okay, that was pretty darn obvious. Somehow they were 8-1, and now they have gone only up to 7. Now I think before the season starts, you're going to see them creep up to at least a 6-1. Simple as that. But I think Vegas is being nice to us right now, and if you could get Vegas at 7 or 8-1, that's great. I still love the Colorado Avalanche. That is an exclusive Philly Pete client future bet for all my clients, and I want to give it out to you guys for free as well. The Colorado Avalanche. We have at 9-1. If you can get 9-1, it's a great deal. Right now, it looks like they're at 8-1, but still, don't be alarmed. It's all good. But I'm giving it to you all out there because the kind and courtesy guy that I am, deep down in my heart, I want to give you guys a free future. So there you go. Lock it in right now. The Colorado Avalanche at 9-1 is an exclusive client VIP future for the Stanley Cup. And more is on the way. Like I said, I mentioned the Canadians. I'm going to talk again once Cody comes on board. I have a couple that I like. I've been upgrading the Vancouver Canucks like it's my job. I had them at 35-1. It has creeped to 25-1. I actually put another half unit down on that for them to win the cup as well. I love the Canucks. I just love them. I love them. I love what they did in the offseason. They kept Thatcher Demko as well. They have all the pieces. They were fun to watch. They gave the Vegas Knights a run for their money. And, it is what it is. And that's how it's going to be. So, now you look at the rest of this roster here, and then you have Anthony Duclair, who's available. You have Ilya Kovalchuk. You have Andreas Athanasiou. You have Alex Galchenyuk. And, just there's a couple players that are just in mind now. And most of these players are surge front runners for the Montreal Canadiens. They are absolutely trying. The Habs are trying their best. They are absolutely trying their best to basically take over. And I love it. I love the players that are coming on board, and it's good to hear. It's great to hear, and good for Montreal. A Canadian team has to eventually win the cup at some point in our lives. Seriously, I got family in Toronto, big Leafs fans, dying for a cup, and who can blame them? Obviously, I hope the Flyers at some point win. That's another team of mine that I like at 18-1, but Canada, come on. Just wake us all up. Let's hope to God they win something. And so you can see the Canadians are pushing for big-time players. Now, not much sizzle. Some potential NHL free agents, some forward bargains here. You got Michael Granlund. You want to be about as safe as a bet as you can when it comes to free agency, and it's probably this guy right here, Michael Granlund. 28 years old. He might warrant some team. Which forwards haven't received often in the 2020 NHL free agent market? Now, one area where Granlund equals Hoffman is that it's all about the value here. Multiple years and he's cheap. Granlund can be worth the gamble. Now, it's unclear if he can be a go-to player like he was with Minnesota if the things never really panned out with the Predators, though. So there you have it. A couple of players to keep in mind as well. You got Colin Wilson, Connor Sheary, Michael Frolik, Caligula, and Dominic Cahoon. These are players that you might not get spectacular results for, but you might get a solid bang for your buck. Not sure if Frolik still belongs in the category because historically he's been a decent depth gem. So there you go. Benjamin Hutton you could put out there as well. Alexander Edler, Christopher Tanov, and the list goes on and on. Now you have the slim pickings, and it comes down to these guys. Zdeno Chara, I mention it all the time. Corey Perry, Sammy Vatanen. These are just some players that are still out there. Ryan Miller and Travis Hamonic. There's just a couple players out here that are still left, and these players could potentially go. So, but with that being said here, let's get it back to the action. This show, Pete's Power Play, Tuesday. Not even Tuesday. I'm getting really excited here. Wednesday, October 21st, 2020 episode of Pete's Power Plays. Welcome aboard. Thanks for being part of it. This show, as always, is sponsored by the one, the only, mybookie.ag. Now, the thing is, though, if you don't have mybookie.ag, I recommend you get it. It is the hottest sports book on the planet right now. If you want to cash out large right now, we're going to hook you guys up big time when it comes to that. So once again, go to mybookie.ag, use the promo code 12ounce sports. Once again, that's 12OZ sports, all one word, all caps, no spaces when you sign up today for mybookie.ag. Again, promo code 12ounce sports, 12OZ sports, all caps. Sign up now. Sports are in full gear, and they will match your first deposit up to $1,000. Simple as a slice of cake. Also, Zingo TV, channel 761. Ladies and gentlemen out there that are tuning in, welcome aboard to this Wednesday episode of mine. Those that don't have it, make sure that you download the app, Smart TV. Again, it's on Roku, it's on Amazon Fire Stick, it is on Apple TV. All those platforms, download it right now. Use the promo code 12ounce, 12OZ, and from there you'll be streaming live all our phenomenal shows, including yours truly, Pete's Power Play. So, the time has come, the man of the hour. Let's bring him aboard. He is the host of the World Hockey Report himself, Mr. Cody Jansen. Cody, welcome aboard, my man. How you doing?
Thanks, buddy. Always a pleasure. Doing great.
Good, man. I'm glad to hear that. So, now I talked about free agency news, and who did you think that kind of had a nice splash in the offseason free agency? Like, give me your winner. And I guess give me a loser as well when it comes to free agency teams that did well and who really did not.
You know, it's always tough to kind of pick winners and losers when we haven't seen any performance. I mean, you never know, like, all of a sudden if Taylor Hall goes off and has a 40-goal season, we're going to be calling Buffalo winners when we're calling them losers already. So it's tough to predict, but I would say a loser has to be the Vancouver Canucks. I mean, you lose Tanev, Toffoli, Markstrom. You know, they just lost so many big pieces to their team from their playoff run this year. I know they got a lot of good young talent coming up, but it really feels like someone took a bite out of that roster. As for winners, I honestly like what Ottawa did. Ottawa and Detroit, I feel, made decent splashes where, I really like the Bobby Ryan signing in Detroit. I really think that that's a leader, and getting him at $1 million a year is pretty impressive. As for Ottawa, adding Dadonov, adding Matt Murray, I think that they now become a more competitive team, and they've got a lot of good young prospects as well to build around. So now maybe you give guys like Tkachuk, Shabbat a little bit more confidence because you have better pieces around them, and they know that they don't have to be the reason that they win every night.
Yeah, I absolutely agree there. And you could also add the fact that they had 2 top 5 picks in the NHL draft as well, Ottawa. And
Exactly.
And I'm right with you. I mean, they had one hell of an all season, and Sens fans should be more than happy to be, being a fan right now. They're going old school. I love that they're bringing back the old school logo. I was truly a fan. And it seems like it's a trend now. I mean, you're seeing the Senators come back. You're eventually going to see you saw the Calgary Flames just release their jerseys. They're going old school. I mean, I love the horse alternate jersey. I mean, I don't know what you think, but that was a top 3 jersey of mine. What do you think about these old school jerseys that are making a comeback?
I love them. I'm a huge fan. I mean, Adam was the one who tweeted it out originally from World Hockey Report. That's where I first saw the Pens and the Flyers ones. And honestly, I'm not as big on the Pens ones as Adam was. I like the Flyers jersey. I'm sure there's a little bit of bias, knowing a couple of the guys. But, the Flames ones are awesome. I really wish they would go back to the Flames with the horse head jersey, like the black ones that we tweeted out. I think those are phenomenal. But all in all, I'm a fan of the retro. I think that a lot of these newer jerseys, they're trying to do way too much. And it just doesn't look as good. Just give me the classic. I don't care. I get it. It's a sales tactic. I get it. They want to, make revenue off that. But for the most part, I'm a classic guy all the way through and through.
Yeah, and I'm right with you, too. Like, just growing up my whole life playing on the Sega Genesis NHL 93 and 94, that's how I started, going into old school jerseys. I mean, of course, I'm a Flyers fan at heart. But I played that game for the first time, remember, I was 7 years old. And, getting a little off topic here. But I'm trying to look through teams that, okay, who can I be besides the Flyers that have a pretty badass logo? And I saw San Jose, and I'm like, I love the Sharks logo. And their jerseys are so unique. I even have, their classic 1990s teal jersey with the shark fins on their shoulders. It's just a phenomenal color. I love the scheme. The logo is brilliant. I mean, it's just so much.
You know
much
what I
classic.
found out the other day? I had no clue that Philly rocked teal jerseys. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That is the wildest thing. I don't know how I missed that. I mean, I'm as big of a hockey nut as they come. That is the worst decision I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's ugly. It kind of reminds me of also the green St. Patrick's Day jersey they had as well.
Yes.
I mean, the colors they bring out. I think one year they had I don't know if it was like something for Easter or something. They had a purple jersey too. I mean, it's just stop. Stick to the pumpkin orange. As ugly as it may sound, I love them. Again, I'm being biased, but the classic orange, when you had the Legion of Doom era, you had the blacks too. Like, those are just classic Flyers jerseys. The teal ones, it just makes me want to vomit. So, but I love the fact that the classic jerseys are coming back. But ladies and gentlemen, tuning in right now, welcome aboard to the Wednesday, October 21st, 2020 episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only King of the Ice himself, Philly Pete. Again, we're live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 761. Cody Jansen, host of World Hockey Report, is joining me right now, ladies and gentlemen, so you really don't want to miss this episode as well. Now, moving on. Now, future Stanley Cup odds. I already gave out a free client future bet for everybody, and I had the Colorado Avalanche at 9-1. Now, I'm looking at Sportsline right now. I have a couple books open right now, and as of this morning, I'll run it down for you, Cody. I don't know if you have anything else different, but I have the Vegas Golden Knights at 7-1. I have Colorado and Tampa now at 8-1. I have the Boston Bruins, who I don't know why they're up this much. I think they're gonna. You have Pasta and you have Marchand on the basically injured reserve for the start of the season, and they're already getting old in age as well. But they're at 11-1 right now. Philly and Washington, respectively, are at 16-1, and then you just go down from there. Now, I saw a big jump after. I don't know if Joe Thornton really makes a big deal, but Toronto was about a couple of days ago was at 20-1. Now they're at 18-1. I don't know if that's going to play a huge part or not. But then you just go down the list here, and then you see Carolina at 25-1. You have the Islanders at 25-1. Even the Rangers making a move at 25-1 as well. What teams would you say? Who do you like for going into next season?
Pete, I love the Islanders at 25-1. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I didn't. I don't have anything good to say about Islanders fans. I've only met two decent ones in my lifetime, I think. But 25-1 on the Isles, man, they were in the Eastern Conference Final this year. There are a couple of bounces going their way, a Brock Nelson breakaway going their way from being in a Game 7. I mean, think about it. They're not that far back from the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're only going to get better when Ilya Sorokin comes in, because I do believe he's the goalie of the future for them. And I believe that he is the next Andrei Vasilevsky, if not better. They have so many good parts. I guarantee you that if they're going to be rolling come trade deadline next year, they're going to add some more offense up front. They're going to add a score. They have to. I think they understand that. And at 25-1, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy numbers right there for a team that's in the Eastern Conference Final. I mean, I don't take Boston serious. They're so banged up right now. They're going to be coming into next season as an absolute disaster. Still a good team, but they're not a cup contender. Tampa Bay, everyone knows, NHL is the toughest sport to repeat in. It rarely happens. You have to be absolutely incredible. You have to be Pittsburgh Penguins good in their prime to repeat. I don't think Tampa Bay is that good. They're trying to dish off pieces. They're in cap trouble right now, so I'm not sold on that. Vegas hasn't done enough with the offense, so I love the Petrovan on the back end, but out of the West, I mean, your Colorado pick's phenomenal. That's one that people aren't looking at enough. And here's the thing with Colorado is they've got, this is a rough estimate right now, but they got about $18 million in cap space. I get it. They're going to have to add guys, or they're going to have to re-sign some of their young guys come next off season. But that doesn't mean a trade deadline. They can't go and pick up a bunch of guys on one-year deals that are UFAs in the summer. That's no harm, no foul right there. Right. Now you just added up a bunch of players. You stay healthy, as everyone sees. Playoffs is about staying healthy. Colorado's a great pick.
Yeah, and I could not agree more. And, I look at the Islanders as well, And it's funny because they opened up at about they were plus 3,000. They were 30-1, and now people I think are starting to put some money into it. Hence why it's at such down to 25-1 now, plus 2,500. I mean, you're dead on right about this team. I mean, they kicked our ass. They kicked the Flyers' ass, no problem. But the fact that they took Tampa Bay to 6 games, I mean, that's right there. That shows a lot about this Islanders team. You got to keep Matthew Barzal. That dude is the player and is a huge key component for the Islanders as well. And I know his contract is up. I feel like they will re-sign him. And that, again, they don't have a lot of cap space either. But this is a player that they need to keep. And again, their future is bright. I have a couple Islanders fans as well. They live in New York. I went to school with them. Hardcore, diehard Islanders fans. They even want to bring back the fisherman jerseys, which I'm not opposed to. And I thought they were phenomenal.
Yeah, those are cool.
They were pretty cool with Ziggy Poffey and the gang. But Islanders, I just think right now, that is a good ticket to put on as well, especially this early if you can get it at 25-1 or even 30-1, which is absurd. But
that's crazy.
It really is. And then another team that I was eyeing up as well. I know they didn't really do too well when it comes to the goalie scheme this off season, but the Carolina Hurricanes at 25-1. They're another good team as well. You have Sebastian Aho. Just another key component for that team. The goaltending could be better, but again, they just didn't really splash this all season as I thought they would be. And I still like them, but just a quick glance at Hurricanes, they could also do some damage as well.
Yeah, I'd probably stay away from them just for the goaltending situation,
exactly.
as you said.
Exactly. All right, and now quick thing real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick, I have the host of the World Hockey Report himself, Cody Jansen, be live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV channel 761. Patrick Laine, where is he next season?
He's got to be in Winnipeg. I know you guys in Philly would love him there. I know he's what that Flyers offense could use as a guy who scores 30, 40 goals. Like, that would be amazing. But I think the Flyers are smart enough where they understand that this kid's going to be asking for $9.5 million, and it's not worth it. He's too hot or cold. The Flyers understand that if they're going to bring him along, Winnipeg better take back one of the Flyers, piss poor contracts, for lack of a better term, and I don't think Winnipeg's willing to do that. So I think he stays in Winnipeg. But yet again, if I'm a Flyers fan, I'm not too down on that. I don't think there's a huge rush right now. I don't think you need to be wasting money on a Mike Hoffman. I don't think you need to be wasting money on a Patrick Laine. I think you play your cards right. You wait until the deadline, and then you see. Maybe Taylor Hall's available. Maybe someone like that you can pick up for a playoff run if you're in that position. I wouldn't rush it if I'm the Flyers. Yeah,
and you know what? And I'm right with you too. And it's funny too because they had a couple offers back and forth. I follow a close source for the Philadelphia Flyers, and Laine is such a big time guy that they want Travis Konechny, they want Frost, they want a future first rounder. But no, you're not giving up Travis Konechny. I love TK too much. And then they followed up with a somewhat garbage trade, I think. I mean, you have Shane Gostisbehere, who's going to be absolutely gone. And I think Nolan Patrick, who we just re-signed. This was before the signing. And, of course, the Jets are – and a first rounder. So, of course, the Jets are going to decline that one. But that, to me, just thinks as well. Like, listen, I've been saying this as well. Laine is going to stay with the Jets, and I'll end it like that. But – real quick now, we have about 30 seconds. Eagles, Giants. Give me your pick.
Take the over. If you get the over at 44, take that. Also, I see the spread was down to 3.5. I don't hate that, Pete. I don't hate that at all for the Eagles. Give me the over and give me the Eagles 3.5. Well,
there you have it. You heard it from the one, the only World Hockey Report's own Cody Jansen. Cody, thank you so much for tuning into my show and coming on board. I truly love it. Thanks again, and we'll talk soon.
Always a pleasure.
Take care. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the show. Amazing show. Thanks for tuning in. And listen, I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, 12 o'clock Eastern. Let's rock and roll. See you guys. Bye.